Subway pregame show returns from Cumberland High School. Bob and Dave Mabry are there. We'll send it back to them in a second, but we're talking with head coach Deborah Spencer, and Coach Spencer will try and keep this one short and sweet. A great win on the road Tuesday at Matthews to get you here. You're tied at halftime, and then your defense just turned it up to level 10 in the second half. I don't even think they scored in the fourth quarter. Had to be proud of that defensive effort, huh?
We were. I thought that we did all the things defensively that we needed to, contain the ball handler, contested shots, but it really came down to rebounding the basketball, and we really limited them to only one shot each possession, and that was huge.
Tell us a little bit about Appomattox Regional Governor School. It's not the Appomattox Raiders, which Bob and Dave will go over a bunch, the different team out of Petersburg. But tell us what you know about them. They are the #1 seed in the East region here.
Very athletic, quick, tall and long, have two sisters that both of them average just under 20 points. So they're balanced, they run the floor well. Be a very difficult matchup for us tonight.
Do you think, obviously you're in the state quarterfinal, which congratulations on that. Nobody wants to go in to the state quarterfinal having lost one or two in a row. How important is it to get off to a fast start and then close in this game to hopefully get a win so you could guarantee either the 1 or the 2 seed, I guess we'll call it, in the state tournament? I mean, this game still means a lot even though you're in the state tournament, correct?
It does. I mean, you entered the regional tournament with the expectation of playing for a regional title. And yes, you're in the state tournament, that's great, but there's still that regional championship that you're playing for. I think it's important for us to get off to good starts for any game we play, because I think for this team that it helps our confidence, and we just play better when we get off to a strong start.
Great stuff, Coach. We'll let you get on the bus. Tip-off between the Dragons and the Colonels about 10 minutes away on 105.5 KD Country.
Portion of the state in single A with a lot of pressure defense and a whole lot of size that I haven't seen on a lot of girls' high school teams.
Yeah, it's a very, very long group. It's a very athletic group as well. So definitely going to be a test for the Colonels. We were talking earlier, Altavista probably has not seen anything like Appomattox Regional Governor School this year, maybe a little bit with Dan River or maybe a little bit with the Brookville, but this is some athleticism.
A lot of athleticism. Jan River had one girl that had a little bit of size. She was about 6'3". We're going to be seeing at any one time on the floor three girls over 6 feet.
Yeah, those are some definite trees. But I'll tell you, Altavista's got to feel good. They made a trip in excess of 4 hours this past week and got a win against a Matthews squad. And anytime you head 4 hours away, I say that's the disadvantage from the start. But the Colonels handled it pretty well.
Huge win for them in a game that we didn't necessarily shoot well. Mm-hmm. Defensively, we played very, very well on the defensive end of the floor, forced a lot of turnovers, and held Matthews, a 20-3 Matthews team, to 5 points in the second half.
And, defense, I mean, everybody says that it wins championships, and it's true pretty much in every sport and every level. And Altavista's held their hat on defense in many sports for many moons. If you looked at 1 or 2 keys to the game for Altavista to get a W, what are you thinking?
Turnovers. We've got to just cut down and eliminate turnovers. Appomattox Regional thrives on pressure, defensive pressure, forcing turnovers in transition.
Right.
And we've got to cut that down. And defensively, we've got to make them play half-court basketball. We've got to keep them and make them run their offense.
And you mentioned that. I mean, I think a lot of times, tempo can win over talent sometimes, because if you can dictate the tempo, you got a leg up on the competition. If they've got 6-1 and 6-1, because I've seen it many times on the boys' side from Altavista and Dan River. Dan River likes to run guys. The guys slow them down, and it's almost like you get into a panic and you get outside of yourself.
Exactly. And that's what happened 2 years ago.
Yes.
That's what happened 2 years ago when we played them.
So it'll be Appomattox Regional Governor School. They are out of Petersburg. They're going to take on the Altavista Colonels. Bob Alvis, Dave Mabry alongside. When we come back, we'll tell you about our sponsors, and a little more on the Subway pregame show right here on 105.5 KD Country.
Recognized for outstanding service and customer satisfaction, Sonny Merriman Incorporated is Virginia's platinum service Thomas-built bus dealer. As Virginia's oldest and most experienced bus distributor, Sonny Merriman Incorporated has been providing buses to schools, churches, medical facilities, and transit agencies for 50 years. Sonny Merriman Incorporated recognized the Altavista boys and girls basketball teams for their outstanding season and wishes them good luck in the playoffs. Go Colonels!
Colonels, hey, let's go Lady Colonels. Cheering on the Altavista Lady Colonels, One Stop Mart, Main Street Altavista are proud of your dedication and teamwork. It's led you to the basketball playoffs. One Stop Mart Altavista is proud to support the community that supports One Stop. Before stepping out to tonight's game, be sure to fill up the gas tank at One Stop and pick up a bucket of the best chicken in town. One Stop Mart, Main Street Altavista, where the gas is cheap, beverages are cold, and the chicken's kicking.
Quality, performance, value. When it comes to tires, no one is as obsessive as the designers and engineers at Michelin. We all expect tires to perform at their very best. So whether it's smooth riding Michelin cross-country terrain SUV tires, rugged Michelin LTX series of truck tires, or the premier passenger car performance of Michelin Hydro Edge tires, the name Michelin means you'll get the most out of your vehicle. When it's time to switch to Michelin, come to Perkins Twin Tire and Auto Service, Main Street, Altavista.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from Cumberland High School, it is the Subway pregame show. Bob Alvis, Mabry alongside, as the Colonels are going to take on the Appomattox Regional Governor's School. And this is very interesting. A lot of people hear Appomattox and they think the back home Appomattox, but not so. This team is out of Petersburg, and it's kind of like Governor's School in Lynchburg. They actually, that's the point. I mean, they stay there the whole time.
And it's a 4-year school.
Let's talk about our sponsors real quick. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Services, a family serving families since 1905. English's, your complete home center, your Pratt & Lambert paint dealer. PCM Industrial Services, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality maintenance and construction service. Feller Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. They are our YouTube sponsor, where you can hear all of the past broadcasts on YouTube as well. Sonny Merriman, Virginia's premier bus company. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Perkins Twin Tire, they're on 1312 Main Street in Altavista, or online at PerkinsTwinTire.com. And One Stop Mart, where the gas is cheap, the beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking. Take one final break on the pregame show and be right back after this on 105.5 KD Country.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1909, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company, with offices in Lynchburg.
Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch & Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
From Cumberland High School, where the national anthem concludes, and we'll just be about ready for basketball. Now, if people are expecting to listen to the guys' game tomorrow night, expect otherwise. The guys will be pushed back, hopefully only a day, but it could be longer. I believe it's Surrey that's still in that won't be able to play. It's Surrey or Sussex. I can't remember what Alfonso Bell, the athletic director, told me. So the guys will be pushed back, but he says it's not going to affect the girls. The girls, no matter what, will play Saturday at either their consolation time or championship game time.
I believe that is Sussex.
Sussex.
They were the ones that were hit pretty hard.
Definitely our thoughts and prayers to everybody that got hit. Of course, Appomattox, our hometown Appomattox so to speak. They got hit pretty hard yesterday, especially the Evergreen area. So definitely our thoughts to all of those folks out in that area. So that starting lineup first for Appomattox Regional Governor School, Trishina Crawley, she's a senior point guard, will wear number 1. Asia Boyd, number 4, 6'1" senior forward. Lauren Wilson, the guard, wearing number 10. Ray Henderson, 6-foot guard forward combo. She will wear 21 and is a junior. And Jada Boyd, the freshman, will wear number 30. Altavista going to counter. And I caught 4 of the 5, Dave, so I'm going to let you help me out. Haley Kraft and Taylor Kraft will both start. Erica Mabry, Brittany Mason, and I missed the 5th.
Victoria Burgess, point guard.
Got to have the point guard. That's a pretty big help.
She is the quarterback and does a great job.
Not a lot of people here, so I always say that's, where it really kind of, you got to dictate your own energy because you can't always depend on the crowd. A good number of Colonel faithful here, but, full from a full house.
When you're playing in these neutral sites, a lot of times, especially in the middle of the week, it's tough to get your crowds to the games. It's very tough to get your crowd to the games, especially at the 6 o'clock hour.
Absolutely. Colonels will be in the black uniforms, orange and white stripe on the side of the pants. Numeral is on the back in orange, outlined in white. Altavista written on the front of the jersey in orange, outlined in white. Numeral centered beneath. ARGS, the Appomattox Regional Governor School, in the white uniforms, green stripe down the side, kind of similar to a William and Mary-ish. Has turnover immediately. Altavista is going to come away with it. Taylor Kraft with the basketball. Over to Burgess. Colonels in the state tournament, so no matter what, this is not the last hurrah for Altavista. They'll get a game Saturday either for the championship or a consolation prize.
Oh, we got a break right there.
Burgess over to Kraft. Kraft left-hand dribble. Kraft looking for somewhere to go. Good defense by ARGS. Ball squirted through Mason's wickets and picked up by Burgess. She'll bring it over to the left.
Tough man-to-man defense from Appomattox Regional.
But getting loose is Altavista.
Erica Mabry.
I think you know her.
Just a little.
Erica Mabry cracks the ice in Altavista with a 2-0 working margin. Crawley with the rock for ARGS. Right side to Henderson. Now Wilson in the corner. Crawley for 3. Short. Basketball rebounded by Appomattox Regional Governor School. No good. Rebounded by Altavista, and Mabry will get it off to Burgess. Burgess heads it up to Kraft. Now stuck inside. There's Mason. Mason sticks it up, and it'll be knocked out of bounds.
15's Whitney Davis.
And I'm sorry, Whitney Davis, and it's going to be Colonel's basketball.
Colonel's run with a set inbound here.
Pass into Davis. Davis tries to squirt it into Mason. Now back out to Burgess. Burgess will survey the scene. 6:30 to go here in the opening quarter. 2-0 Colonels with the advantage. Mason kick out. Taylor Kraft cut off. Kraft will bring it back out. Now over to Burgess.
Out on the wing. That's trying to shoot over a 6'1" right there.
It's not easy to do it unless you're 6'2". Basketball in the hands of Davis. Mabry misses but gets her own board. Pass is squirted out and Crawley came away with it. Crawley's going down the right side. Crawley lays it up and it'll go in. Double team defense in transition, but Altavista could not deny Crawley with the bucket 2-all.
Normally the Dragons come out in a 2-3 zone, but they came out man-to-man right off the get-go.
And they will have possession of the basketball, as it'll be Ray Henderson to inbound it. Henderson over to Crawley. Crawley will get it across the timeline back to Henderson. Henderson skips it. Crawley for 3. In and out, no good. Rebound Mabry.
A little bit of token full court pressure right there by the Dragons.
Burgess in the front court. And, if Altavista, I hate to say it, they're going to need the Dragons to help them out missing some open shots with just the height with the shooting over. Davis with the basketball, and they'll say she traveled.
I think what I would do, just my personal opinion, I would take my chances with them shooting the 3.
Right, yeah.
I would pack that zone back and let them shoot.
Haley Kraft checked in for Whitney Davis. Now Crawley over to Lauren Wilson. A lot of familiar names now hitting my memory bank from a couple years ago. Basketball tried to be skipped down. They did get it to Boyd. Boyd has it deflected out of bounds, and it's going to stay to the Dragons with 5 minutes and 7 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 2-all.
Colonel's playing that tough, scrappy 2-3 zone right now.
Beautiful facilities here in Cumberland. I don't know if you've ever went to the old Cumberland, but it was not as nice as this.
Oh, much, much better.
Crawley with the basketball. Had it stripped away. That was actually Henderson trying to drive. Now Burgess picks it up. Finds Mabry on the far wing. Mabry back to Burgess, middle of the floor. Now over to Kraft. Kraft will fire from 3, and it's in. Haley Kraft with the triple.
And a great steal on the other end by her sister Taylor, which gave her that opportunity.
Very seldom do you find an Altavista team that gets out-hustled and outworked. It's kind of been a staple of Deborah Spencer ever since day one. And this squad, just in the first 3 minutes and 11 seconds I've seen them, they are a scrappy, hustling bunch.
Scrappy, hustling. I think that pretty well describes Deborah Spencer in a nutshell.
Henderson had some work done on the footwear. It looks like they put a piece of tape around the shoe as her shoelaces had come untied again. And the basketball will be ARGS. It's in the front court. Henderson skips it across. Crawley back to Wilson. Wilson will find it back to Henderson. Burgess guarding her out there. The Colonels do appear to be in a bit of a zone. Basketball in the hands of number 4, Boyd. Boyd with the miss. Stuck back up. That's too strong. Rebounded by Altavista and Taylor Kraft. Burgess with the basketball. Gets it back to Kraft. Colonel's ahead of the timeline. Mabry in the corner for 3. In and out. Save, but right to Kraft. Haley over to Taylor. 3-pointer off the front iron, then glass, no good.
Need Taylor to get off as quick as she can. She did not hit a field goal the other night. She got all her points on the line.
Dragons out of bounds. Colonels will check in. 2 more faces, Paris Goggins and Addison Mormon. Tell you, the first 404 has looked pretty good for Altavista in terms of what the Dragons have not been able to accomplish.
Yeah, right now, we're waiting for them to start ratcheting up their defense a little bit and how we handle that pressure.
Basketball belongs to Altavista. It's in the hands of Taylor Kraft. Now to Goggins. Squirted over to Haley Kraft. Puts it on the floor with her left. 2 dribbles. Picks it up. Over to Goggins. Goggins will put it on the floor. Backs it out. 3-pointer up by Kraft and in by Kraft. Haley Kraft, back-to-back trifectas, has pushed the Altavista lead to 6.
Well, I tell you what, in Haley's eyes, that basket is as big as an ocean right now.
8-2, Altavista. Crawley with the basketball. Wilson goes down low, now swept across, and the shot up is going to be no good by Boyd. And there will be a foul on the play. Foul is going to go against Taylor Kraft. Her first one of the game, comes with 3:12 to go in the opening quarter. Free throw up, and that is no good.
Something to make note of for later there.
Jessica Presley will check in for Wilson. Presley listed as a point guard, so if that be the case, then 2 very good ball handlers for the Dragons on the floor. Second free throw up and in.
Full court pressure, it looks like, from Appomattox Regional.
And that makes it much more difficult when that full court pressure has wingspans like they do. Burgess with the basketball was not in the front court. Now Altavista gets in there. Burgess pulls up, skips it over. Kraft will again fire from 3, no good.
They sort of forced us up tempo right there. Put a shot up quick.
Boyd with the basketball. Cross court. Over to Presley. Presley for 3, no good. Side of the iron. Presley tries to get the rebound and hit off Presley at the end.
I thought it hit off Presley.
I thought it hit off Presley.
Yeah, it hit off Addison, and then it hit Presley when she was standing out of bounds. Oh, well.
Deborah Spencer with more of befuddlement rather than rage on that one from the officials. 3-pointer, no good.
I have the same befuddlement.
I just stay in the area of befuddlement for my life. So 8-3, 2:32 to go.
All right, now Deborah has rotated Erica Mabry back in as a 2 guard now. where she was in the post.
Burgess over to the aforementioned Erica Mabry. Tie up, jump ball, and the arrow is going to keep it to Altavista. Give me the pros and cons of Erica to 2 as impartially as you can.
At the 2, she's pretty heady. She knows what she's doing. The drawback is she's not the quickest cat in the world.
Steal. Burgess tried to get it over to Mabry. Boyd's layup is going to go down, and it's 8-5.
But one of the reasons Deborah does that is for rotation purposes.
If you're Altavista, I think you've got to we didn't talk about this in the keys, but you've got to minimize runs from the Dragons. And they're going to say Goggins got the off-the-ball screen. A little too much action. That'll be her first.
Erica coming back out. I think she might like it better in the post than at that 2 goal.
And again, this is not a must-win game right here. You are in the state tournament. You'll have a game on Saturday, so.
And actually, we have 2 games left.
Right, minimum. Ball in and out for the Dragons. Shot back up, no good. Rebound still coming loose. Up and in, and 1.
That height factor is starting to catch up with us now. We're too far under the basket, and we've got to be out farther and box out.
That was Asia Boyd with the bucket, and Boyd will have a shot to tie it. The old-fashioned three-point play as the foul went against Addison Mormon. And the game is tied. Colonels have racked up 3 team fouls, too, semi-quickly.
The Dragons have ratcheted up that pressure. They're going full court, trapping at half.
Burgess over to Kraft. The defense is pulled out on Kraft, too. Not a lot of open look right there for a 3 or anything being thought of.
Now you got to run your motion and look for backdoor cuts and look inside to the post. Like right there, you got to catch the ball, though.
Hit Mason in the fingertip. Almost went off of a Dragons player at the end. Minute 15 to go here in our opening quarter. 8 apiece. Altavista and Appomattox Regional Governor School. Colonel's 5 seed. ARGS the 1. Dragons moving it in quickly. That is Jada Boyd for 2.
Too easy. We let the ball get from the point to the post. Way too easy right there.
8-0 run for the Dragons as well. Kraft with the basketball. Looking for somewhere to go. We'll go back out to her sister Haley between the circles. She'll bring it right side. Looking for somewhere to go herself. And now Burgess. And that defense is pulling out too. Colonel's not getting any room whatsoever. And there is going to be a foul on the Dragons. Their first of the evening.
That's one of the things the Colonels are going to have to look to do against this now is go from their high-low offense and attack inside and try and get them in foul trouble.
Blocked by ARGS. Colonels get the basketball back, though. Burgess will swing it quickly to Kraft. Kraft's 3, I think, got deflected. And here comes the Dragons back the other way. Shot up, won't fall off the rim. Good job by the Colonels to have rebounders back there. And the basketball is going to belong to Altavista. 19.9 to go.
That length is starting to really get to us right now.
Brandy Bell will check in.
Coach Spencer's going to give Victoria a little bit of a break here.
Maybe only a 19.9 second break.
Yes.
As Bell crosses the timeline, we're down to 10. Bell doubled over Kraft. Kraft to Mormon. Mormon looking for somewhere to go. Mason denied in the post. Mormon will dribble it in herself, and they're going to call a walk.
She got the ball caught on her leg as she was going to the basket.
3.5 seconds left. Deborah Spencer and her staff implore a bit of a token press. Crawley, three-pointer is hoisted up and in. Asia Boyd with the 3, and that is not the way you want to end the first quarter if you're Altavista. Dragons lead 13-8. We're back in 1 minute on 105.5 KD Country.
You're listening to Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country, WKDE Altavista, Lynchburg. PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialist, providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. From offices in Altavista, PCM Industrial Services congratulates the Altavista basketball teams on another successful season. Good luck in the playoffs. Go Colonels.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from Cumberland High School, 13-8. Appomattox Regional Governor School with the lead. Colonels got off to a good start, Dave, but then ARGS, I don't know if they smelt blood or what, but they got going.
They picked that defense up. They decided they weren't going to watch us shoot three-pointers.
Now, I think you and I are kind of in the same boat of you got to get ARGS in foul trouble if you're Altavista. I think, though, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're thinking get it into the post and then get them in foul trouble. I just hope if they gamble for enough steals, you get them in foul trouble in the backcourt. I mean, you know, I know it's a hope.
In the natural set of Deborah Spencer's offense, she runs everything inside out.
Right.
So that's, and with Brittany Mason and Paris Goggins, they've gotten a bulk of their points from the foul line and, attacking.
Shot out by ARGS, bounded off the back of the iron, no good. Altavista will check back in Victoria Burgess.
What the shooters are going to have to do is they're going to have to put the ball on the floor, pump fake, and then look to draw fouls that way and get shots off. I don't see them getting many spot-up shots right now.
And I'm sure ARGS would like to see how well-conditioned Altavista is, too. Jump ball, I believe this arrow is going to keep it with the Colonels, I believe, because you can tell ARGS, they're in some shape. I'm not saying Altavista's not, but I don't know if it's the same.
The girls covering the Kraft sisters out on the wings right now, like I said, are both over 6 foot.
Right.
That is a
Mason head fake, took it up, had it deflected, and it's going to stay to Altavista. 7:24 to go here in the first half. Bob Alvis, Dave Mabry with you on the coverage. Basketball taken inside. Mabry up and in.
Great pass from Taylor Kraft.
If you're Altavista, you got to capitalize on those bunnies, too. 3 feet and in's got to be automatic. Crawley, right side, three-pointer up, three-pointer out. They're going to call it a 2 on the line. Henderson must have not been back by much.
If they start shooting like that from outside, we've got major problems.
15-10. Burgess with the basketball. Over to Taylor Kraft. Kraft puts it on the floor with his left. Now doubled. And timeout by Deborah Spencer. We will observe the stoppage as well. It comes with 6:46 to go in the second quarter. Colonels trail 15-10.
A short drive will save you money.
In the market for a new Chevrolet? Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
For a huge selection of new Chevrolets and pre-owned vehicles, it's Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
FellersDirect.com. Selection. Convenience. Fellers Chevrolet.
Fellers Chevrolet.
Always open and only a click away.
FellersDirect.com.
A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Right now they've got 3 team fouls.
Bob Alvis, Dave Mabry back here with you. 3 team fouls against the Dragons, 3 against the Colonels, 1 against the Dragons. 6:46 to go, 15-10. Mabry in trouble. Doubled it and then had it knocked out of her hands, but picked it up. And now over to Burgess. So far, they really haven't pressured Burgess on the point like I thought maybe that, the Governor School would here. Nothing against her, but just pressure that point.
Pressure the point and push it to the trap, but I have a feeling that might be coming.
Kraft with the basketball. Burgess comes all the way down, had it deflected. They'll call it a clean block.
Great play by Taylor Kraft getting on the floor.
The arrow's going to show ARGS, but you'll get it back on the next one.
Good hustle play by Taylor right there, getting the tie up.
6 minutes and 12 seconds to go here in the first half of play. Wilson with the basketball. Pitches it back over to Henderson. Now thrown inside. And shot up, no good. Won't fall. Second shot will not go, and it'll be a 2-shot foul.
They're getting us in trouble inside now. They're getting that pass way too easy. It's awful easy for them to throw over top and throw to those big girls down under.
And it'll be Jada Boyd on the line for 2. And she sinks the first. Again, I'm not saying this is Chaminade and UVA back from the days of Ralph Sampson or anything, but you're going to need ARGS to be cold from somewhere, I think, for Altavista to really to get those opportunities.
Here's the thing about Jada Boyd, a 6'2" freshman. It's almost scary.
Yeah, I'm never going to get to 6'2". Kraft with the basketball goes back to Mabry. Mabry looking to go somewhere, picked it up now over to Goggins in the front court. Goggins wisely holds it over her head, waiting for some guards to get in the front court to help out. Mabry with the basketball. Pull-up jumper off the side of the iron, no good. Rebounded by the Dragons. Crawley with the basketball. Pitches. Free throw line jumper, no good by Boyd. Boyd picks it back up. Will go over to Crawley. Crawley will just pull it back and set something up. 5 minutes and 18 seconds to go. Wilson long 2. That won't fall. Rebounded by Boyd, and Boyd sticks it up and in. Asia Boyd for 2.
And it's awful easy for her to rebound, but it's even easier when nobody puts a body on her.
Colonels will take a full timeout. We will observe the full timeout as well. 5:09 to go here in the first half. 19-10. ARGS.
Recognized for outstanding service and customer satisfaction, Sonny Merriman Incorporated is Virginia's platinum service Thomas-built bus dealer. As Virginia's oldest and most experienced bus distributor, Sonny Merriman Incorporated has been providing buses to schools, churches, medical facilities, and transit agencies for 50 years. Sonny Merriman Incorporated recognized the Altavista boys and girls basketball teams for their outstanding season and wishes them good luck in the playoffs. Go Colonels!
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
1910 Dragons right now slaying Altavista. And I felt that Deborah Spencer, that was a needed timeout because you can't let this get away from you. I mean, I say you can't take them home with you, but you don't want to use them all in the first half, but you can't let this get so far away from you either.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to try and figure this out. The big thing right now on the boards, on the offensive boards, they're not keeping Appomattox Regional off. They're not putting bodies on, and things are way, way, way too easy for them.
I've always said, go butt to the gut and then make them reach over top of you and make the officials, calling over the back or something. But I agree, Altavista with the size differential can maybe make up for it with some cunning and craftiness, no pun intended.
And we've got to be able to get some more people on the scoreboard. Right now we've only had 2 people score.
Mormon to Goggins, now to Burgess, back to Goggins. Goggins inside, lays it up, won't fall down. Rebound comes down to ARGS, and they're going to call a foul against Mason on the floor. It's a 15 foul against Altavista. They're pretty much spread out. Taylor Kraft has 2, but everybody else with just 1. Crawley. Step back, thought about it. Now over to Wilson.
Oh, that's a walk.
And the Colonels will get the possession of the basketball back with 4:34 to go. Obviously, you want the lead, but if I'm the Colonels, I would at least like to get this to maybe about a 3-4 point game in the next 4.5.
Yeah, if you can get it down there, that would be good. But right now, offensive woes.
Kraft over to Mason. Burgess calling for it on the left side. Mason will feed it back to Haley Kraft. Now over to Burgess. Burgess puts it on the floor with her left. Burgess weaved in, got it back to Mormon. Colonel's not looking really like to go to the basket right now either. Wilson knocked it away, and the basketball will fall out of bounds.
Appomattox Regional has us so off balance. We're too far away from the basket trying to set our offense, and we're just out of kilter right now.
Burgess with the basketball in the front court. Right-hand dribble. Goes over to Kraft. Kraft behind the arc. Ball above the head. Now brings it shoulder level over to Mason. Mason
Great
squirts
pass.
Bounce pass in to Goggins. Goggins couldn't handle. Feeds it back to Mason. Free throw line jumper. Will hit a lot of real estate on the iron. No good. And foul against Altavista. Altavista kind of the not the on the good side of some of these fouls. Some of these fouls really happening about 90 feet away from the basket. This is going to be the second foul on number 12, Addison Mormon.
Brittany Mason made a great pass to Paris Goggins inside, and Paris didn't catch the ball cleanly and had to end up kicking it back out.
Three-pointer by Crawley off the side of the iron, rebounded by Mormon. That's what you got to do if you're Altavista. One and done for ARGS. Burgess, they thought she might have dragged the foot if they were a Dragons fan. Officials did not. Kraft lobs upstairs to Mason. Mason takes it up strong, no good. Rebound comes down and picked up by ARGS. Boyd just powered her way out of a double team by Goggins and Mason.
Right now the Dragon big girls are in our heads right now.
Boyd underneath, shot up, and it'll fall. Zeta Boyd.
NBA layup there.
21-10. Colonels have not scored in this quarter, and we're almost 5.5 into it. Mason catches. Mason goes up, and Boyd blocks it out of bounds. Subs will re-enter for Altavista, but Deborah Spencer will call a timeout. It'll be a full timeout. We will observe the stoppage as well. 2:45 to go in the first half of play. Colonels trailing 21-10.
Colonels, hey, let's go, Lady Colonels. Cheering on the Altavista Lady Colonels One Stop Mart, Main Street Altavista are proud of your dedication and teamwork. It's led you to the basketball playoffs. One Stop Mart Altavista is proud to support the community that supports One Stop. Before stepping out to tonight's game, be sure to fill up the gas tank at One Stop and pick up a bucket of the best chicken in town. One Stop Mart, Main Street Altavista, where the gas is cheap, beverages are cold, and the chicken's kicking.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from Cumberland High School, Colonels trailing 21-10. You know, if you're Altavista right now, I think you're playing against two teams. You're playing against yourselves just mentally, and you're playing against the athleticism of the Lady Dragons. If you're the Colonels, how can you defeat the mental opponent that might be blocking you right now?
You've got to keep attacking, especially when you're down by 11. You just got to attack and go, and not think about it. These big girls inside, they blocked a couple of shots, but like I said, we've got to try and get them in some sort of foul trouble. They've committed one foul this half.
Yeah, and I'll go with you on another step. I mean, if they block Altavista out of bounds, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. Altavista gets the ball back. That's bad when Crawley intercepts the inbound pass.
And right now we're getting beat down the floor.
Underneath, and that is number 21, Ray Henderson. 23-10. So Mabry had that early two here in this quarter, and that's been it. Altavista got the first bucket, then they've been outscored 10-0 currently. Burgess gets rid of it, over to Kraft. Kraft squirts it into Goggins. Goggins has it blocked. And they're going to call a foul against Altavista.
It doesn't get much better than that as far as a pass. Taylor Kraft made a great pass inside. Paris has got to give a pump fake or something. She's going straight up, and it's getting sent right back at her.
Second foul against Goggins, seventh one against Colonels, and it'll be freebies for the rest of the half for the Lady Dragons. That's something you don't need to have happen either. Opportunities for them to score with the clock stop.
Exactly.
Boyd knocks down the first.
Very impressed with Asia Boyd. Handles the ball. Nice touch at the line.
Well, I don't think Jada's a slouch either.
Oh, no.
Both the Boyds are just, if you say stop Boyd, you might have a shot in this one if you're Altavista. And there's still a lot of basketball to be played. Foul is going to go against the Lady Dragons. Crawley's going to get called for a reach downstairs. Her first, team second. 2 minutes to go here in the first half of play. Burgess zigzagged her way all the way up. Ball went to the ground. Kraft went downstairs to get it. Mabry gets it over to Burgess. Now back to Kraft. Mabry will try her hand at three. Off the front of the iron, no good. Rebound by the Dragons. Pass made on the block with Jessica Presley, and Presley finishes with 2. 27-10. Down low to Goggins. Goggins, power dribble, takes it up. Ball will not fall.
That's that chip shot that we're not hitting right now.
And the foul is going to go against ARGS. A little bit of a late whistle, I think, for the Lady Dragon fans on that one. It'll be the third team foul. First foul on Jada Boyd. And Goggins will come out past Will Taylor Lee. Mabry in the corner thought about it. Now gets it over to Burgess. Burgess will fire. Ball off the back plate. No good. Rebounded by ARGS. One and done. Killing the Colonels, too. Only one shot apiece. They get it down low. Nice defense by Mabry to knock it out of the hands of Jessica Presley. Buck 16 to go here in the first half. Colonels down by 17. And Lady Dragons dragged a foot. Jessica Presley, the victim. Presley with the headband and the spectacles on.
You know, the Colonels offensively have been their own worst enemy also, not just in turnovers, but we've missed 4 or 5 chip shot layup field goals that would definitely make this game closer.
Mason kicked it out. Kraft with a head fake. Kraft inside the arc, and Kraft gets it to go. Taylor Kraft for the 2.
We need Taylor to get hot like that.
Good move by Mason to get in front of the passing lane. Colonel's going the other way. Over to Haley Kraft. Kraft's layup is too strong. Rebound is loose. Mabry tried to pick it up. Now picked up by the Lady Dragons. Pass is back into the hands of Asia Boyd into the bucket for 2.
Asia Boyd is beating everybody down the floor every time.
Well, I don't know if ARGS has a track program, but if so, Asia Boyd might want to start it. Steal by Jada Boyd. Boyd will come down the right wing. Good foul by Burgess to prevent maybe an easy 2 and make at least Jada Boyd earn them from the stripe. Eighth team foul against the Colonels. First one on Victoria Burgess. Jada Boyd at the stripe. First one up, and it'll spin down and fall in. 30-12. Second shot coming from Boyd.
Jada Boyd's got a nice stroke there at the line.
31-12. Burgess in the backcourt. Gets it over to Kraft. Kraft in trouble. Gets it to Haley. Haley with some green. Finds Mason. Mason had it blocked.
Asia Boyd.
5.5 left. And maybe that's a situation where Kraft just needs to see the defenders over there and just go in and challenge and maybe make the pass at the last minute. But that's a lot easier for me to say up here.
Yes. As you're going, she made what would have been.
Kraft with 3 seconds. Colonel's got to hoist one up. Burgess will throw it. Overhand, no good, and that will do it for the first 16. First half of play in the books. It's not good news for the Colonels. 31-12 ARGS. We'll be back and talk about it on the Subway Halftime Show right after this timeout on 105.5 KD Country.
Quality, performance, value. When it comes to tires, no one is as obsessive as the designers and engineers at Michelin. We all expect tires to perform at their very best. So whether it's smooth riding Michelin cross-country terrain SUV tires, rugged Michelin LTX series of truck tires, or the premier passenger car performance of Michelin Hydro Edge tires, the name Michelin means you'll get the most out of your vehicle. When it's time to switch to Michelin, come to Perkins Twin Tire and Auto Service, Main Street, Altavista.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Brought to you by English Construction Company, with offices in Lynchburg.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
back here from Cumberland High School. It's 31-12, ARGS leading Altavista. Bob Alvis, Dave Mabry on the call. It's the Subway halftime show. Best decision you'll ever make is just open the doors at Subway. You've got locations all over Town and Country Shopping Center moved to Main Street years ago. I'm showing my age. Main Street, you got Walmart, and then the location on Foster Fuels. All classic subs, just $6 for the month of February. So you got a few more days to load up. I just say put them in the fridge, and you're good for a week.
I've got two sitting in my car right now, one for me, one for Erica on the ride back. So
31-12. That's going to be a tasty ride back. At least Altavista would love to taste some more points. That was not a good quarter to say the least. 18-4. ARGS just run and gun offense.
They are defensively as good a team as we have seen. I thought probably beforehand Brookville was the best team we'd seen. This ARGS right now is heads and shoulders, I think, above Brookville.
And they have really just been able to get out in transition. And, you know, we talked about being one shot and done. That's really killed the Colonels, too, offensively. There have not been many second chance opportunities, period.
When you throw 6'2", 6'1", 6'1", it's awful tough. And your tallest player is Paris Goggins, who's 5'11". It makes it tough, and we haven't done a great job of boxing them out, but a lot of times it wouldn't matter.
You're a coach. You've delivered, I'm sure, some win one for the Gipper speeches. What are you saying at halftime of this one?
You're going to find out who wants to play second half.
Right.
You're going to find out who's got the heart and who wants to go. I think these girls will step up. I think they will step up. You'll see them on the floor. You'll see them scrap. But that's how you've got to attack it and see who wants to play and see who doesn't. But yeah. I've got faith. I've got faith in these girls as far as scrapping it out and going to it. Because like you said, there is a tomorrow.
Right, there is and you know that's a big thing I wanted to touch on here on the Subway halftime show. Bob Alvis, Dave Mabry here from Cumberland High School. You know, one thing, there is a tomorrow. So I think second half, you're down 19. I've never seen the 19-point shot come into high school girls basketball. So it's almost maybe make a game within a game and say, let's hold them to, 6 in this first 5 minutes or whatever, just to get yourself going. I mean, if you don't win the game, I mean, obviously everybody wants to win and get a better seeding, better situation, but there is a tomorrow at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, with it being said, there is a tomorrow. You can't have the second quarter replicate itself in the third and fourth quarter, because then that can carry over.
Exactly. Exactly. And this is reminiscent, too, of 2 years ago. Colonels played East Rockingham, who's now a AA school. They played East Rockingham in the East Regional Final and lost by 33 points. And then a week later played them for the state championship and lost by 3 and had a shot at the end of the game to tie it. So, you just got to keep playing. Right now it's a matchup. Right now it's a matchup nightmare, but you can make it better. You keep plugging, and you go, and you just see what happens.
So with that being said, the same thing happened to the boys one year when they played Madison in the regionals. They got absolutely hammered, and then state championship was a nail-biter of a game. With that being said, if you're Deborah Spencer, do not show your whole hand and empty the whole cupboard in the second half.
Yeah.
Because you could see them again. You could see them again.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, like I said, too, you want those players to scrap, and you want them to go out. So the same token, you want to try and do what you can to get things going, because you want to end it however it comes out at the end. You want to come out mentally on a good note.
31-12 ARGS at halftime, and I've never known Deborah Spencer to pack the bus after one half of play.
Oh God, no.
So
no.
I mean,
no.
I definitely think the second half is going to be a hard-nosed fight. Biggest thing I think before we take a break and come back here on the Subway halftime show, Colonels have to figure out a way to get either A, the ball in the hole in the first shot, or B, get some second shots, and they've got to figure out a way to get some rebounds and cut off the boys in transition.
Exactly.
We'll take a break and come back on the Subway halftime show. It's 31-12 ARGS over Altavista here on 105.5 KD Country.
PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialists providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. From offices in Altavista, PCM Industrial Services congratulates the Altavista basketball teams on another successful season. Good luck in the playoffs. Go Colonels.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from Cumberland High School, Bob Alvis, Dave Mabry, alongside his autograph request out the wazoo for Dave Mabry. When I heard I got to work with Dave Mabry, I was up here as fast as I could get up here within legal limitations.
I don't know. When I walked in here, I heard people hollering, John, Paul, George, Ringo, Bob.
Not for me. 31 to 12. Kyle Haney back. He's on assignment, letting the inmates run the asylum. Eleanor Haney back at home base as well. So doing the best we can. I always like to needle Kyle and call him the voice of the Colonels these days. He hates it. So next time you see him, just give that to him about 6 or 7 times. We talked about it kind of with a couple of our fans here at the halftime. Where are you going to get the points from if you're out to Vista right now, down low or outside?
Well, I think the big thing is you attack down low and then try and swing it out, and then try and swing it out, which is how we run our offense. But the problem is they're disrupting it from the top down, and then when we are able to get it down, they're sending everything back at us.
And they have been a very proficient team. Not really, unfortunately, a hard job to do out to Vista's scoring for the first half. It was Haley Kraft with 6, Erica Mabry with 4, and Taylor Kraft with 2. 3 players in. I mean, is there a fourth wheel that you can get involved in this, or does one of those 3 just have to really get hot?
That would have to be inside Brittany Mason and possibly Paris Goggins. And again, we've missed a lot of chip shots inside. While we've had a lot of shots blocked, we've missed some chippies that could possibly cut this lead that the Dragons have in half. So, the 3 scorers have scored, but they haven't scored many.
Right, and maybe the worst thing that could have happened was Haley Kraft banging those 2 threes in real quick, because it really got the Dragons' attention. When we look at their scoring, 2 points from Trishina Crawley, 11 points from Jada Boyd, Asia Boyd topping her with 12, Ray Henderson has 4, and Jessica Presley has 2. And
Asia Boyd is as good a player as I've seen this year. She has the full package.
You want to play 2-on-2 and you take Asia, I'll take Jada. I mean, both the Boyds are really a handful so far, and really, just the whole group as a whole. This team really is probably one of the more athletic teams you're going to see around state and girls basketball. Really at any level. I mean, just because they're 1A just means they don't have as many students as other people. It doesn't mean they're worse.
And the other thing, we're playing a governor school. All these kids that they're putting on the floor are extremely, extremely smart.
Right. I was going to say, good point. I mean, I take a long time with a math problem or a science problem. They've got it figured out in 5 minutes.
Oh, exactly.
It takes me 55.
And they're sitting there looking at things that we do on the floor, and they're picking them out pretty quick.
And you talk about a cerebral group of students per se. First off, I mean, you got to remember everybody's in the classroom before they're set out to winning games. That's the name of the game. But really, those cerebral people also can sometimes not get down as quick. They get that mental toughness. And we'll see if Altavista's got it in the second half. They'll be going to our left. Lady Dragons to our right. Burgess over to Kraft. Kraft looking for Mormon as she called for it. Now Mason out at the three-point line. Mason squirts it into Mormon. Mormon sticks it up. Just really right into the hands of Jada Boyd as she was there for it. Lady Dragons back the other way. Middle of the floor, Crawley facilitates. They just wrap it around. They will kick it in to Boyd. Boyd back out. Three-pointer in and out, no good. Ball being tapped around, picked up by Mormon. Mormon doubled, and really a third defender with that baseline. Kraft with the basketball. Burgess, middle of the floor, ball above the head.
When the bigs get the ball inside, they've got to pump fake. They've got to give head fakes and ball fakes and get them up in the air. They're going straight up with the ball, and they're having it come right back at them.
Burgess over to Kraft. Mason tried to go down low, and the ball tapped off Jada Boyd. And it will stay to Altavista. 6:54 to go in the third. 31-12 Lady Dragons. Have a game on Saturday as well. The boys will not play tomorrow due to Sussex having that torrential damage due to several tornadoes in Virginia yesterday. Kraft for three, in and out. Mason with the board. Mason takes it up, and she'll be fouled.
That's one of the first good looks we've gotten from the wing in over a quarter.
Fouls going against Henderson. Her second. First one on the Lady Dragons.
Haley got a good look at it, just didn't drop for her.
And if you're Altavista, free throws have to become like layups. Mason, first one up. It'll rim around and fall down. 31-13. Mason will have a second shot. Second one up, front iron, no good. Mason chased after her own rebound, couldn't get it. And Mason and Mormon, I think, were thinking of trying to double it first, but the speed by Crawley just got out. Now Boyd at the free throw line. Jumper no good, and Altavista holds them to a one-shot possession. And again, I think, right now, Dave, if you're the Colonels, you just got to win possessions.
Exactly. One possession at a time. Try and just chink your way back into the game.
Burgess over to Mormon. Mormon couldn't handle Boyd with the steal. Mormon probably got some of the body on that one. No call.
Got away with one there, yes.
And Mormon with one dribble and killed it over to Victoria Burgess.
But at this point, we will take it.
Burgess over to Kraft. Now back to Taylor Kraft. Burgess. Left side of the floor wide open.
Colonel's running motion offense against Appomattox Regionals man-to-man.
Taylor Kraft over to Mormon. Mormon looking for somewhere to go. Now over to Burgess. In regular season games, when you're facing similar size teams, you might be able to lob one of those passes over top. Not happening today. Kraft drives in. Leaves it for Mason. Mason gets the bunny to go down.
Good job by Victoria. Penetrating, bringing Boyd to her. And
Colonel's on a little run as Wilson missed. Burgess leaves it for Kraft. Now back to Burgess. And I think Altavista right now is taking what the Lady Dragons are giving them as well.
Exactly.
Kraft to the free throw line, leaves it for Mason. Mason shot up, no good. And Jada Boyd with the foul. That's Boyd's second.
She's got Jada Boyd up in the air. Drew the foul.
Now, in no way do I mean this next statement is a knock against the Colonels, but you just wonder, too, where the Lady Dragons getting a little lazy defensively. They were there at that spot early on. Now it's almost like they're getting beat and trying to use athleticism to get back there late.
Well, one thing, too, the Colonels have changed what they're doing offensively right now, too. They're running a motion offense as opposed to their high-low offense and trying to run it through the post and out. Now they're trying to get those backdoor cuts and inside layups and stuff like that off that man by running that motion offense.
Mason splits the pair once again, 31-16.
Which was Deborah Spencer's adjustment at the half.
Played a little over 3 minutes, and the Lady Dragons have not scored, and they won't score on that possession either. As the ball was taken away, well, they'll keep it on the jump ball, but nice defense by Kraft. Tell you, the Lady Colonels, I like the intensity and the gusto they're playing with here in the second half. It would be easy to fold the 10 up after that second quarter, mainly.
I have a feeling the talk at the half had a lot of intensity and gusto.
Kicked out Wilson, long two, off the side, no good. Long rebound comes down to the Lady Dragons. Wilson, ball above the head. Kraft almost got the steal. They'll kick it out, three-pointer up and in.
If they start hitting those, it's going to be, you can turn out the lights because we're packing it down inside, playing pretty good D, and then these guards start hitting those threes.
34-16, Whitney Davis in the game for the Colonels. Whitney Davis, Taylor and Haley Kraft, Victoria Burgess and Brittany Mason. Kraft for three. Drano for Haley Kraft. 34-19. And a travel by ARGS. Tell you, I don't know if ARGS is taking a physical break, a mental break, or both right now. I mean, you know, traveling in that position, a lot of people will say that's a mental turnover.
Exactly. Haley's had two good looks right there, and the first one didn't drop, and that one she drained.
I don't know where the Lady Colonel's confidence, I don't know if it's back to full blast yet, but I think it's definitely climbing the mountain. Burgess with the basketball. Over to Kraft. Kraft trying to work with a Mason screen. Now skipped across to Davis. Davis keeping the ball above the head. Now over to Kraft. Double team defense. Now almost a triple. There got to be somebody open. Over to Burgess.
It was Brittany Mason underneath, but they weren't in position to get her the ball.
Three-pointer by Taylor. Kraft no good. Haley can't go up top for it to get it because Ray Henderson's a little bit taller at over 6 foot. Henderson will put it on the floor, controls with her right into the wing. Now stuck down to Boyd. Boyd shot off the side of the iron, no good. Rebounded by Boyd, and Asia Boyd we're going to say that one was on the floor, I think.
Brittany Mason fell, and then Asia Boyd was looking up, and she went to go to the basket and tripped over Brittany. Both seem to be okay, though.
It's Mason's second. First one on the Colonels here in the third quarter. 3:12 to go, and Altavista trails 5-15. Ball loose on the hardwood, now picked back up, and now Kraft steps in the passing lane. Over to Burgess. Burgess does not have numbers and will wait for her troops to get back. Over to Davis. Davis will try to go inside to Goggins. Knocked out of bounds, and it's going to stay to Altavista.
A lot of times you've got to look where that opening is. Right there they had that opening on the baseline, and they tried to punch it inside a little too quick.
Mabry in. Kraft for three. Corner pocket and in.
Haley Kraft starting to heat up.
Her fourth triple.
Good pass from Erica Mabry.
34-22. Zigzagging and slicing through the defense is Jada Boyd.
That's unbelievable. That's just a 6'2" girl who just weaved right through our defense like we weren't there.
Goggins picked it up, had it taken away
by that 6'2" girl, Jada Boyd.
Now over to Asia Boyd. She'll give it over to Henderson. Henderson, no Tiny Todd either. And the second try will go down and one. Backbreaker right there as Jada Boyd gets the two, and we'll have the shot to earn the old-fashioned three-point play.
Not good defense right there by the Colonels in that we gave up the baseline, and inside did not have position.
Scoggins third, second on the Colonels here in the second half. Mabry will come out as well. Mormon on the floor, joined by Davis, Mason, Haley Kraft, and Victoria Burgess. I'm sorry, both Kraft sisters are on the floor. And Boyd sinks the free throw back up to 17. 39-22, and now throwing a little backcourt pressure too.
And the trap girl is Jada Boyd.
Boyd with the steal. Broken record, I know. Calling for it was Henderson on that far side. Now Crawley skips it out and passes to Aaron.
A couple of years ago, we would run that 1-3-1 trap, full court trap with Sydney Morris at the top, and Sydney was 5'10", whatever, very athletic. They're running man with Jada Boyd at the point.
Mason gets loose and will go up, and she'll go to the line. Foul is against Ray Henderson. And you mentioned a 5'10" or a 6-foot player at the top, but when they get the arms extended, they're even taller. I mean, it's like a big oak.
Exactly, and that's the biggest thing, especially when we're getting trapped. When we're getting trapped, and we're getting trapped by 6 foot and 6'2".
Mason, first one up and the first one in. 39-23. Mason's been to the line 2 other times this quarter, and let's see if she can break that, hitting the first and missing the second. She has split her other opportunities. Dang it, I was really hoping the reverse jinx would work there for me, but it did not. Mason went 1 out of 2 again. At least you're getting some points, though. Stuck inside the void. Burgess held the basketball, jump ball, and it'll give it to Altavista.
Victoria can't say that she's blocked many shots of 6-footers, but now she can.
And really just a smart play. Just put your hand on the basketball.
And what happened there, Asia Boyd got a little lazy and brought the ball down to her waist and brought it down to Victoria.
Kraft with the rock. Kraft puts it on the floor, ran into a bit of a double team. Kraft goes downstairs for it, gets it over to Burgess. Burgess doubled, and they'll call a foul. And it'll be against Jessica Presley. You know, one thing I'll give this as a kudos to the Colonels. They have kept the basketball above their head the whole time. They have not been bringing it back down in traffic.
And normally, a lot of times when we've seen the Chathams and the Dan Rivers and the Gretnas, we see those traps. We see these traps, and we're able to throw through them, step through them, throw over top of them. And the problem we've got right now is just that length. That length is just hard to combat.
And I think so many times, too, you know, I talk about a team holding the ball above their head and keeping it above their head. A lot of teams, I think, will bring it down a lot of times just out of panic. But
Yes.
Altavista has kept it up the whole time, which I give credit to bench and players on the floor for that. They'll try to go inside to Mason. Mason could not cut in front. Mormon's pass picked off.
Not a good pass right there.
Boyd shot up, rims around, falls out, rebounded by Mormon. Mormon quickly gets out of there and skips across the baseline with the pass to Victoria Burgess. Kraft for 3 again. Off the side of the iron, no good, and
I believe Teresha Henderson got a piece of that.
I was going to say last touch off of Altavista as we're under a minute to go. 39 seconds. And Altavista again will make the Lady Dragons go the full length.
I believe the Dragons got a little bit of a break right there because that ball was deflected out.
Mabry anticipating, trying to get the steal, but nobody was back to help on Jada Boyd. Easy 2, 41-23. Mabry over to Mason. Mason turns and sends, keeps the pivot foot at the free throw line, kicks it out to Mabry. Mabry drives, leaves it for Mason. Mason had that rejected.
I'd like to, I don't know, have you kept track of how many blocks they have?
I have
so
not.
far?
I'm out of fingers and toes for that tonight.
Oh, Lord.
Basketball, it's 3 seconds, it's 2, it's 1. Free throw line runners up and in.
Who else? Asia Boyd.
So that will take us to the end of the third quarter. 43-23. ARGS, we're back with the final frame after this on 105.5 KD Country.
You're listening to Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country, WKDE, Altavista, Lynchburg.
Brother needs a pickup, sister wants a ride. Uncle needs a sports car to keep him satisfied. Mama, she wants comfort, luxury and style. And Daddy, he just wants a deal that's gonna make him smile. Everybody's happy, you can hear them all say, we're glad we went to Fellers Chevrolet. Competition for all dealers in Central VA. A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from Cumberland High School, Bob Alvis, Dave Mabry alongside. 43-23 the score. It was a 12-11 quarter that time for ARGS, but you know, in a weird way, I feel like the Colonels really had a really, really good quarter.
They did exactly what we were talking about at the half. They scrapped. They scrapped. They forced some things. Deborah changed some stuff up offensively. Went to her motion offense there against that man-to-man defense. We got a couple of looks. Again, trying to chip away, but they're fighting.
Wilson with the basketball. Crawley for 3. It's going to be short. Wilson tries to save it off the foot of Altavista. Tell you that's just the breaks won't get you, but Deborah Spencer enthusiastically clapping and just saying, let's get them on this possession.
Good heads-up play by Lauren Wilson, just throwing the ball. Ball was going out of bounds, and she got it and threw it off Whitney Davis's foot.
Three-pointer up and in. That's Jessica Presley. 46-23. Normally, that's the last spot. A coach will tell you to throw it off the foot. They'll try to say go for the knee or something because the foot can deflect weird, but I don't think there was really much of a body part choice on that one. Kraft with the basketball. Goes back to Burgess. Now Davis. Davis to Mason. Now to Mormon. Back in the hands of Whitney Davis. Colonel's on the far side. Kraft puts it on the floor with a couple dribbles. Knocked down, and foul's going to go against Kraft, I believe. It's on Taylor Kraft. I want to say that's 2. I was going to say 3. I waited for the board just to make myself look smart. And substitutions enter for Altavista. On the floor right now for Altavista, Burgess, Haley Kraft, Taylor Kraft, Goggins, and Mormon. Basketball in the hands of Crawley. Crawley back over to Presley. Presley sticks it in. Now over to Asia Boyd. Boyd, Presley. Presley goes down and picks it off by Goggins. Goggins gets it over to Burgess. Burgess had it, then lost it. Goggins lost it for a moment wherever it was. I think she just lost location. Boyd with the basketball. Boyd gets some deflection.
Asia Boyd.
And Asia Boyd will get the 2 and 1.
What happened right there? Victoria was making a pass, but her vision is blocked by a large individual. So when I say large, I mean tall.
And the free throw's up and in. Believe it should be 49, I thought. Because I thought Presley's 3 made it 46. Somebody in the crowd yelled and backed me up on that.
Steal by Asia Boyd.
Now 51. And timeout, Deborah Spencer. We'll take it as well. ARGS with a little run now goes up 51-23. We're back after this on KD Country.
Recognized for outstanding service and customer satisfaction, Sonny Merriman Incorporated is Virginia's platinum service Thomas-built bus dealer. As Virginia's oldest and most experienced bus distributor, Sonny Merriman Incorporated has been providing buses to schools, churches, medical facilities, and transit agencies for 50 years. Sonny Merriman Incorporated recognized the Altavista boys and girls basketball teams for their outstanding season and wishes them good luck in the playoffs. Go Colonels!
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
It's been a quiet 12-0 run for ARGS. It really didn't feel like it's been that much, but they have gotten some points in bunches, and now they lead by 28.
I tell you, like I said before, you're putting so much height at the top of your press right there, and it's just giving us fits as far as just throwing around it, working around it, seeing around it.
And Altavista could have to see this team again later down the road. It wouldn't be Saturday, though, as they will take on the loser of the next game, which will feature Surrey and Colonial Beach.
Should be a good matchup right there.
And, you know, when Altavista gets into these conference, regional, whatever you want to call it, plays, regional plays, they see the same team quite often. Kraft with the basketball. So it shows you Altavista is not the only one that knows what a recipe for success is. Burgess with the basketball over to Kraft. Kraft does a good job of staying inbounds. His momentum was not kind. Now Mormon over to Kraft. Back to Burgess. Mormon to Taylor Kraft. Goggins trying to get some position inside. Burgess with the basketball.
Good defensive pressure by Appomattox Regional.
Taylor Kraft lobs over to Goggins. Goggins, the extra dribble, had it deflected. 5:38 to go. Lady Dragons looking to push the lead to 30 or more. Long pass over to Boyd, and Boyd will get fouled.
That was an awesome move. One dribble, jump stop to the basket, and drew the foul.
I wish I'd had at any point in my life, as it's going to be the fourth foul on Goggins, just whatever Boyd's having their pinkies, I wish I'd had in my body for athleticism, and I could have actually maybe won a game of horse at some point in time.
Yeah, that was just a great basketball move. I mean, that was just awesome. Just very, very impressed with both of the boys and the whole Appomattox regional team right now.
Taylor Lee, I believe, in the game on that far block. Has his second free throw up and in. 52-23. ARGS. Now, if you're Altavista, mathematically, this is getting very, very, very unlikely. If you're the Colonels, I really think that next 5:20, you just got to get some good momentum heading into Saturday.
Exactly.
Mabry from one step inside the arc, no good. Rebound picked up by Goggins. Goggins had the ball at her knees because she picked it up off the floor, tried to squirt it over to Kraft, and it was knocked out of bounds.
Got a good look at the basket there. It just didn't drop.
It'll be an early tea time on Saturday, noon, I believe. Mabry with the basketball over to Burgess. Down to Kraft. Kraft from three and in.
Taylor Kraft.
So Haley had been hosting the three-party for most of the night. Now Taylor with the invitation. 52-26. Colonels appear to be in a 2-3. Basketball over to Crawley. Crawley for three and in. I'll tell you, Crawley's been a sharpshooter tonight when she's hoisted it up from the wing. 55-26. Burgess over to Mabry. Mabry looking for somewhere to go. Bounces it over to Taylor Lee. Lee passes it up top to Goggins. And if Goggins maybe had an inch and a half more on her, should have had it.
Trying to throw over top of Asia Boyd.
Right. Give an A for effort. I mean, you know, at this point, don't think it hurts to try. But
oh, no.
Again, maybe it's physics or one of those sciences that did not allow that to happen. Boyd over to Crawley. Crawley back to Boyd, the two-man game. And the third, Boyd gets involved in it. Taylor Kraft with the knockaway. Wilson kind of took it off for a moment. Kraft was still hustling. Ball in the hands of Ray Henderson. Henderson, two dribbles in. Shot up, no good. Rebounded by Altavista. Boyd might have gotten a little bump on the board. Goggins picked it up and got it out to Burgess.
Good rebound by Paris.
Burgess waits for traffic to clear. Right side to Mabry. Mabry in to Goggins. Goggins too high. Rebounded by Boyd.
Another one of those chip shots.
Boyd with the rock. Boyd crosses over. Boyd in front of the free throw line. No good. Rebounded by Taylor Lee. Now out to Taylor Kraft. Brandy Bell at the table ready to check in on the next dead ball. 3:18 to go. Pass over to Mabry. Mabry, two-pointer up and in. 55-28. And a timeout by the Lady Dragons. We'll take it as well. 3:07 to go here in the fourth. 55-28 ARGS.
Colonels, hey, let's go, Lady Colonels. Cheering on the Altavista Lady Colonels one-stop mart, Main Street Altavista are proud of your dedication, teamwork. It's led you to the basketball playoffs. One Stop Mart Altavista is proud to support the community that supports One Stop. Before stepping out to tonight's game, be sure to fill up the gas tank at One Stop and pick up a bucket of the best chicken in town. One Stop Mart, Main Street Altavista, where the gas is cheap, beverages are cold, and the chicken's kicking.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Bob Alvis, Dave Mabry back here from Cumberland. I've had a blast with you tonight. The result hadn't been super duper, but I mean, I can tell you, you got to give, I think, just as much credit to the right side instead of taking away credit from the left. This Lady Dragons team is talented, to say the least.
Oh, there's nothing to fault the Lady Colonels with at all. Right now, they've just faced a juggernaut.
Yep.
They've just faced a juggernaut, which we had a suspicion coming in. It would be sort of like this. I just didn't fathom the size and exactly how it would play and how athletic they were. And when I say athletic, sometimes that's a that's not a great statement either. Basketball athletes.
Yep.
These girls are
Yep.
basketball players.
Disciplined athletic. It's not just people running around.
Good fundamentals. Good fundamental skills.
New faces on the floor for the Lady Dragons. Tina Burns is out there, as well as number 14, Abby Robinson. Addison Mormon will check back in for Altavista. And it's going to stay with the Lady Dragons. So many new folks on the floor, they lost track, I think, for their moment.
Appomattox Regional has wholesaled it here.
5 folks on the floor. Crawley, I think, is the only one out there still that has been out there for a majority of time. Crawley, Presley, Burns, Robinson, and Ashanti Jordan. Altavista counters with Brandy Bell, Goggins, Lee, Mormon, and Taylor Kraft. Presley bounces it over to Crawley. Lady Dragons look like they're content just to really run some time as well. Travel is the call, as Whitney Davis going to check back in. Davis with the long ponytail, almost to the waistline.
Whitney, a good multi-sport athlete, volleyball, softball, basketball.
Kind of got to be in a 1A school. You cannot be a specialist.
That with this group of senior girls that we have, it's a very, very special group. And with the 5 seniors that we have, they're all multiple sports, and all of them are multiple all-conference players in their respective sports.
Davis over to Goggins. Goggins takes it up, no good. Of course, the boys just concluded with a special group as well that was seen on the gridiron and on the hardwood. Foul is going to be against Abby Robinson. It'll be her first. Goggins at the stripe. Again, boys will not be in action tomorrow as some weather outside of Sussex's control. Obviously, a couple deadly tornadoes touching down yesterday will push the boys back to hopefully Saturday. Could be Sunday.
Okay, they are pressed to get this in, because then next week, and with this loss here, that means the Lady Colonels are going to have to travel, and it looks like UVA-wise will be our destination.
That is a few miles on the old wagon.
Yes, that's a few hours, and when I say a few, I'm talking about close to 5.
And Goggins will miss the second one completely, and it'll be a violation. It'll give it over to Lady Dragons. And I tell you, you can see some hostile environments when you get into Southwest Virginia, too. I mean, they really love their sports, and some of those towns, I mean this respectfully, they don't have a lot going on, so they kind of shut down when an event's going on.
After playing Honaker and Hayside football and making those trips. Of course, I grew up in Southwest Virginia, so I know how rabid it is. And probably in the 30-some years of coaching football that I've had, those trips to Honaker and Hayside were just some of the best experiences.
I remember back when I was a student at JF, we went down to Gate City the year after I graduated, and I was honestly glad I just got back with all my appendages as Lee with the tie-up.
The big blue cannonball.
Yep. A lot of good places. Now, I'm fairly certain, too, that when the Colonels travel, it will be to a venue with a bigger floor as well. So you'll be seeing, normally they play those games I think it's Virginia High. Goggins gets it in and sticks it off the window. Coach Spencer's going to call a timeout, but this is going to be just a sub timeout. So I know they used to do those super sites.
Yes, and that's what this will be for the quarters.
And I'm fairly certain it's somewhere like a Virginia High or
it'll be at UVA-wise.
Okay, UVA-wise.
UVA-wise.
I'm sorry, you said that, and I just totally blacked out there for a second. But a big floor. So,
Exactly.
I mean, that's the point.
Depth perception, shooters. That's tough for shooters to try and get adjusted to. Of course, any gym is a change if you're not regularly playing in it. I know we had problems the other night at Matthews, and as Erica tried to explain to me, the rims were looser or what, you know.
What's the biggest floor this team has been on this year in terms of the depth perception type of thing?
Probably at Western Albemarle,
Okay.
in the Western Albemarle tournament in early December.
So I remember, people always used to talk about when you would go to Heritage. I mean, Heritage had so much open air behind those baskets, and Rustburg used to before they kind of cut that one spot off. But I mean, a lot of places have that open air, and it really gets in the old noodle. Minute 14 to go, 55-31. Lady Dragons will march on to Saturday night's championship game, which I believe is an 8 o'clock game. I'm fairly certain the Lady Colonels will be back on the floor at noon. And timeout by ARGS.
And they will play the loser of the Surrey Colonial Beach game.
Again, familiar foes in past years. Colonial Beach 2 years ago.
Surrey
well.
last year.
Yep.
Surrey put us out in, I believe, triple overtime last year.
And Surrey's got some size too, you were telling me.
They have a 6'5" post. And they split, and if this doesn't scare you a little bit, they split with Appomattox Regional this year. They're in the same district. And they also have in that district Greensville County, who's still alive in the AA Eastern region.
Well, Altavista not going to come out on the great end of this one tonight. 1 minute left, 55-31. But I'll tell you what, there were so many times back in the day that I saw Altavista do this to other teams.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and we can go back to my start on the air here, which is about 13 years now. Stacy Shepard, Taylor Frazier. I mean, that special group, they did a lot worse to other teams. So I don't think Altavista's got anything to hang their head about. And you better not. Mormon gets the pass underneath on the block. No good. Rebounded by ARGS. I think the Colonels do have some things, though, they can kind of fine-tune for Saturday.
Exactly. And like I said, in years that they've played in the state championship and in years that they've made the Final Four, and these seniors have been in a state championship game. 4 of these seniors have played in a state championship game and in a state Final Four the year after. But I think what they'll come out, and they've taken a beating like this before in those years,
Right.
and then still had a chance to win the state, and they need to understand that.
And they've seen size. Where was is it Civic Center? I think a couple years ago, where it was it Honaker?
Chilhowie, who won the state, and they ended up beating us by 7.
And they had a girl that could almost touch the rafters of the Civic Center.
Yeah, and that was Taylor Craft, Taylor Craft, Erica, Victoria Burgess, and Brittany Mason, all on that team.
Right. My point being, I don't think Altavista is going to see, a new animal,
Right.
so to speak, at this point in time, or anything they've never seen.
This is as much a matchup problem as anything else.
Davis will hoist one from way downtown. Won't go down, and that'll do it. 55-31, the Lady Dragons of the Appomattox Regional Governor School get the win. When Dave and I come back, we will do the Subway postgame show at ARGS 55, Altavista 31, here on 105.5 KD Country.
Quality, performance, value. When it comes to tires, no one is as obsessive as the designers and engineers at Michelin. We all expect tires to perform at their very best. So whether it's smooth riding Michelin cross-country terrain SUV tires, rugged Michelin LTX series of truck tires, or the premier passenger car performance of Michelin Hydro Edge tires, the name Michelin means you'll get the most out of your vehicle. When it's time to switch to Michelin, come to Perkins Twin Tire and Auto Service, Main Street, Altavista.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too.
Brought to you by English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
55-31 for the Appomattox Regional Government School. They get the win over Altavista. Bob Alvis and Dave Mabry for the first time ever for me, and it was a blast doing the game with him. I tell you, I stopped counting track of my partners years ago, but I'll tell you, I think you got to be one of my favorites.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
The most recent, too. So.
This has been good. I've done 3 broadcasts and had 3 different partners. I don't know if that says anything about me or not.
I'm not going to ask you which one you like the best, because I'm sure I know the answer to that. Initials BA. But anyway, let's talk about this one. Altavista, obviously, we mentioned it at nauseum during the broadcast, really had a lot of mountains to climb, and some of those mountains were very tall. In the boys, Ray Henderson, also Notani Tot. But if you're Altavista, what can you tighten up Saturday that you didn't do as well tonight, regardless of what the size of the disparity was?
The big thing is inside. You got to finish. You got to finish chip shots inside, which we had a hard time doing, and a lot of that was caused by Appomattox Regional. The other thing is, eliminate the turnovers, and again, that's stuff that was forced. Appomattox Regional didn't do a whole lot of different things that Matthews did, right. Except the difference is who they were doing it with.
Right.
And yeah, but like I said, we talked at the half, and I think the big thing at the half was the girls came out in the second half. They didn't quit. They chipped away. They scrapped. They got on the floor. And did some things to try and make a game of it, and I think you've got to take that as a positive.
Yeah, because quitting would have definitely, I don't want to say been the easy thing to do, but it definitely would have been the easy thing to do there. I mean, it really would have been easy to tuck your head, just, pity party, we'll get them on Saturday. But again, I think if you don't have that third quarter, and again, they lost the third quarter by 12-11, but I still thought they played pretty good basketball the third quarter. If you don't have a third quarter like that, I think Saturday could even be more of a mountain if you really just got annihilated here.
Exactly. You're right. And like I say, you play for Saturday, and like I said, there's other things down the road. Appomattox Regional is going to have to play other teams that they might not necessarily match up with. And, whether it be a Surrey or Northwood out of the West, who has a 6'4" center down the road, who's undefeated, by the way. So, it's a game of matchups. It's a game of matchups, and depending on how things work out, the Colonels could very easily get out of this okay.
Yeah, and I think, the confidence level, I hope that was just a matter of who you were playing tonight, and that the heads don't get down like that on a regular basis off a missed shot or a bad pass or anything like that. I don't think there were a ton of unforced errors by Altavista tonight, right. which also I think Deborah Spencer can probably sleep well knowing. We will sleep well when we come back and wrap up the Subway postgame show. Altavista falls to ARGS 55-31. You heard it all on 105.5 KD Country.
PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialists providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. From offices in Altavista, PCM Industrial Services congratulates the Altavista basketball teams on another successful season. Good luck in the playoffs. Go Colonels.
A short drive will save you money.
In the market for a new Chevrolet? Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
For a huge selection of new Chevrolets and pre-owned vehicles, it's Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
FellersDirect.com. Selection. Convenience. Fellers Chevrolet.
Fellers Chevrolet.
Always open and only a click away.
FellersDirect.com.
A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
Recognized for outstanding service and customer satisfaction, Sonny Merriman Incorporated is Virginia's platinum service Thomas-built bus dealer. As Virginia's oldest and most experienced bus distributor, Sonny Merriman Incorporated has been providing buses to schools, churches, medical facilities, and transit agencies for 50 years. Sonny Merriman Incorporated recognized the Altavista boys and girls basketball teams for their outstanding season and wishes them good luck in the playoffs. Go Colonels!
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Bob Alvis, Dave Mabry, swapping some stories there in the break, which were very fantastic. I'll tell you, Altavista would really like to swap places on Saturday and get a W, but again, the resiliency of this team and tenacity of this team, really the foundation was set for that at the beginning.
Exactly. They started out 1-7, started the year 1-7 and had a few injuries. They went long in volleyball, which is a good thing.
Yep.
But the core of that team was on the volleyball team. And then when they came back, Taylor Craft was hurt. They went through injury with Brittany Mason in the post. And then Erica Mabry had an ankle injury here towards the end. One of the losses that they had during the year was a 33-point loss to Chatham at home. And the girls rebounded, got on that winning streak, and then went down to Chatham and ended up beating them by 6. So resiliency, it's there.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I mean, you pointed out a situation with the girls of East Rock, and I pointed out the situation with the boys from years back with Madison. Just because what happens in a regional game does not mean you will see that same result in the state game. You could see really just the total opposite is night and day. But let's go over some final numbers here. Scoring-wise, you've got the Colonels.
Okay. For Altavista, they were led by Haley Craft with 12 points. She got 6 of those in that first run and first couple minutes of the game. Erica Mabry had 6 points. Brittany Mason had 5. Taylor Craft had 5. And Paris Goggins had 3.
And on the other side for the Dragons, it was 8 points from Trishina Crawley, 19 points from Jada Boyd, 19 points from Asia Boyd, 4 points from Ray Henderson, and 5 points from Jessica Presley. And that will bring us to the favorite time of most people's evenings, because that means we're getting ready to be quiet in a few minutes, the Players of the Game Award. Dave, I'll let you go first. Let's start with ARGS.
For me, that's easy. It's Asia Boyd, best basketball player I've seen this year, without a doubt.
I'm going to be kind of opposite, but not to a big degree. I'm going to go Jada Boyd, because I think, again, you switch the jersey numbers at halftime, and, I mean, they almost look like the same identical player out there in terms of what they could do. They both got hot. Jada Boyd had 11 in the first half. Asia Boyd had 12 in the first half. Then they balanced it out 8 and 7 in the second. So I don't think you would go wrong with naming just Boyd.
I think you just want to start a controversy in the Boyd home.
I do. That's what everybody says. I'm the straw that stirs the drink. On Altavista side, I'll let you go first again.
Okay. Basically, I think you got to go with Haley Craft. The only real offense we had was when she got some looks at the basket, and she did. She went 4 for 9 from the field.
Yep.
And so I think you got to go with Haley Craft on that.
I'm going to agree with you 100%. I'm not going to say Taylor to try to start anything in the Craft household. I'll keep this to one household controversy at a time. But I'll tell you, I think who you got to give some kudos to as well is Victoria Burgess at the points. She's not a scorer, but, I mean, solid as a rock. And I'll tell you, if you had a point guard that could get flustered or rattled, that thing could have been 50.
Oh, exactly. And the thing is, when you said that, I just sort of smiled and shook my head, because what she had to endure and quarterback the team through tonight, it's hard to describe it for people on the radio.
Right.
It's something you had to see. And, Victoria, as she has done for the last 4 years, she has held up well, and, we're lucky to have her running the show.
I'll just go with great minds think alike, and I hope to do this again with you on Saturday, if you don't mind.
That would be great. That would be great.
For Dave Mabry and for Eleanor Haney and for all of our sponsors, such as One Stop Mart, where the gas is cheap, the beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking. Perkins Twin Tire, 1312 Main Street in Altavista, or online at perkinstwintire.com. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Sonny Merriman, Virginia's premier bus company. Fellers Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money, and don't forget you can hear all the games on our YouTube channel. It's sponsored by our good friends at Fellers. PCM Industrial Services, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality maintenance and construction service. English's Complete Home Center, your Pratt & Lambert paint dealer. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, a family serving families since 1905. And this has been the Subway postgame show. Rise and dine at Subway. Breakfast sandwiches that will make you happy no matter what side of the bed you wake up on. Steak, egg and cheese, ham, egg and cheese, bacon, egg and cheese, and they're available all day at Subway. 3 locations in Altavista on Main Street, then in the Walmart and at Foster Fuels. And don't forget the Katy Country Instant Radio Auction, 9 a.m. Rise and shine on Saturday. You can get deals galore, whether you like food, other things. I mean, there's something for everybody at the KD Country Instant Auction. And don't forget, Christmas is going to be here in 10 months. You can always get something there. So, for Dave Mabry, for Eleanor Haney, Deborah Spencer, Kyle Haney, this is Bob Alvis saying we'll talk to you on Saturday. The Lady Dragons of ARGS, the better team tonight, 55-31 over Altavista. We'll talk to you in 2 days, everyone.